Hello, my name is Jose Antonio Fonseca Lopez, and I'm studying a Bachelor in Industrial Engineering at Tecnológico de Monterrey. And today I'm going to talk about applying industrial engineering principles to restaurant optimization. To start with this presentation, let's get into context with these two questions. Imagine chaos inside a restaurant's kitchen. Do you think you will receive the service you're expecting? Will you have your food fresh and on time? Of course not, because the order inside a kitchen is the reflection of how the clients will be feeling. Of course, if we gave them, for example, a burnt toast, they would be angry. But the purpose of this presentation is to apply industrial engineering-based concepts and techniques into a restaurant's optimization system, as well as finding solutions and new alternatives for everyday restaurant problems to have happy customers. Of course, this is the everyday work of an industrial engineer, and these type of problems and challenges are very important in order to find good solutions. As we may wonder, there are many challenges that are for an industrial engineer in order to find the proper optimization of a restaurant. But in this presentation, we are going to approach 7 of them. The first one is to make an efficient process flow and an organized layout design. Manage inventory and optimize supply chain. Then we have manage queue and customer flow. There is also important to have automated processes and implement technology in order to have a efficient system. To forecast demand and capacity planning in order to prevent from food toxic and control quality and customer satisfaction. And it can be not a industrial engineer based presentation if we don't include the look forward Kaizen methodology. That means the continuous improvement in our business or company. And we are going to see all of these challenges more detail in the next slides. The first challenge we have in the optimization of a restaurant is flow process and layout design. As an industrial engineer, I will need to be an expert in making efficient process flows in any type of industries. As we could know, restaurants have a very specific and simple process flow. First, the customer should arrive to the restaurant, then they should be seated on a specific table, their order should be taken, then the food arrives, then they should pay for what they eat, and finally they go. But that sounds very simple, right? But the problem here is that there is a whole process going on inside the kitchen and outside the kitchen. Inside the kitchen, we have the chefs that are preparing the meals, and outside we have the waiters that they should do their work properly and attend with the customers with a lot of respect. And as we slice our process flow, we can see that there are several steps that could be improved in any restaurant. For example, just to talk about something, we have that in the start of the process flow, that when the customer asks for food, there is a waiter, but we can automate that part by having iPads in the tables. And as for the layout system, it's important to position each table and sit strategically so we can have an equilibrium between comfort, efficiency, and aesthetics. As we can see on the right image, we have a layout design of a restaurant that includes the kitchen and the seats of the customers as well. As we can see, it implements several avant-garde techniques where we have some seats that are going along the wall, that I suppose that there is going to be a window out there in order to have an innovation strategy. The second challenge we have is inventory management and supply chain optimization. Restaurants are in obligation of managing ingredients and supplies every day, so it is necessary to have proper registration of source entries and exits. We can accomplish that by having several data sheets where we register all of these previously mentioned entries and exits. Restaurants should all worry about food freshness and to obtain it at its maximum while keeping costs at minimums. I will carry out a just-in-time technique. This technique consists on having inside the kitchen a specific department that is in charge of having the food on time, as well as checking the food freshness according to its caducity date. It is very important because in that way we could have a very ordered inventory management. And according to the supply chain optimization, I need to say that strong relationships with suppliers are necessary to always have products on time, have access to products in special prices, or even be able to obtain mutual agreement rates. All of these three previously mentioned tasks are very important because that will make us have a lot of money in favor and to prevent losses. Another challenge that we have for the optimization of a restaurant is queue management and customer flow. Industrial engineers use techniques to optimize queue systems and reduce wait times. In restaurants, this can be applied to manage customer flow at peak times, optimizing seating arrangements, and reducing customer wait times for tables or food. As we know, there is a big importance given in the wait times because customers, as more as they wait, they are going to be less happy. So it's important to know how to manage time and keep a efficient customer flow. To open the customer channel means constant flow of economic entries, and it translates itself as a better service for clients and as more money. Because as more clients we can attend, it's gonna be more the revenue we are going to receive. This next challenge is one of the most important, if not the most. Automation and technology. Humans can be quick and efficient, but often make mistakes. That's why we have several tools like computers, cell phones, laptops, or any digital screen that could help efficient processes. An automation process will permit quicker movements, efficient processes, and a comfortable service. The idea that could automate a restaurant is to let an iPad on each table and clients will order their food from there. In that way, we can make this technological improvement into restaurants so we can skip one step on the process and we could have lighter labor hours for waiters. Another technological advance that we are going to use on our restaurant in order to improve it is the use of artificial intelligence. In that way, we can make robots that can take the order of clients or customers. So, in that way, by machine learning, our AI robots will have a more human attitude or behavior so that people that are in the restaurant doesn't feel like they are talking to a robot. Another important challenge is demand forecasting and capacity planning. As a light rule, we all know that restaurants are more visited on weekends than on weekdays. But just answer these two questions. How precise can we forecast our clients' demands? And what could happen if we prepare all the food for a dish, but later on our clients ask for another dish that we don't have ingredients for? Yeah, those are really serious questions that every day the manager of the restaurant or the CEO must think about. And that's why data analysis is very important and market knowledge is crucial as an industrial engineer must relate clients' demands with inventory storage and capacity planning. Making an Excel with a story record of what clients ask on determined days could work, or doing a reservation system if we are having some works with a prestigious restaurant. In that way, we also can use artificial intelligence, as I mentioned in the previous slide, because with artificial intelligence, we could also predict how customers could act, their behavior, and how do they manage to do some stuff at the time and hours. Also, we could have several data analyses made by artificial intelligence, and that could make our work more easy. At this point of life, we all know that control quality and customer satisfaction is one of the most important things in any restaurant. And as the phrase says, first is the client. So, I leaving 5 question survey at the end of each client's account should be a good parameter to keep in contact with customers' satisfaction standard. In that way, we can evaluate how the waiter behaves, how was the food, if there have any problems with noise or the music that is in the background or any of that stuff that could make us improve in several aspects that are very important for customer satisfaction standards. Also, it is important to make waiters and chefs workshops to maintain respect and order in the laboral hours, as well as letting them know the company's standards and that we can expect from them in a determined situation that could be presented for them in every day. So, as we all know, control quality is one of the most important things in a restaurant, and we need to keep food fresh. And also, it is important to have several persons that are in charge of always making that safe for everyone. And finally, this presentation couldn't be related with industrial engineering if we didn't mention the Kaizen methodology. In applying Kaizen methodology to a restaurant, we need to start first need to identify the inefficiencies, such as order accuracy or workflow issues. The important thing here is to make small improvements. Some examples of that can be using a whiteboard for special orders, or maybe also adding a little bit more of salt to that dish that is unsalty, or making sure that guests always are happy, or receiving them just with a good morning or a good evening. That small changes are the all the philosophy of the Kaizen methodology, because that is called continuous improvement. And as well as continuous improvement, we need continuous feedback. So by getting that, we need to make further adjustments, and successful changes can be sustained and expanded, looking for a culture of ongoing improvement in operations. There are several safety concerns that should be taken in any restaurant. And most important, if we are making optimization changes, we also need to take into account these safety concerns. The first one is to ensure proper food handling and storage to prevent food intoxication and insalubrity. It is very important to always keep our clients in good healthy conditions, and to also have check the caducity dates of any product before opening hours. Optimizing workflows will prevent chefs from cutting, burning, or bumps between each other while preparing food, giving them enough space to work efficiently. That is very important because in one of the challenges that we mentioned, we talk about the layout design. And in this layout design, we need to take into account these safety concerns. And in addition with that, fire extinguishers should be handled in an easy way to use them. And safety drills should be done monthly to know what to do in case of emergency. Not only in fire accidents, also it can be earthquakes or any other thing that could that could be a risk for our customers and employees. Also, a very important thing that many restaurants are not taking into account is that bathrooms should always be clean and disinfected, as well as chairs and tables where clients are seated. Because in that way, you give a very good image for your clients. Because a good restaurant should be always be clean. Personal comments about this presentation. The first thing that came into mind when I have this homework is that I was going to combine two of my passions in life, managing a restaurant all by myself and make continuous improvements every day. Looking forward, this goal in life is something that I have thought and I will keep thinking 24 hours, 7 days per week. And I think that it's all about being an industrial engineer. Think, apply, improve, fail, and all over again until infinity. And I think that many persons should be thinking in this way, not only industrial engineers, because making continuous improvements in your life will guide you into better decisions and better results. Also, as in the fact for persons that are related to the restaurant chains and the market, I think that everybody needs to make a big change because things are getting more difficult, and it is very important to have the better service for customers and clients, as this human touch is being lost in the last couple of years. As my conclusion for this presentation, I think that managing a restaurant and applying optimization knowledge in a real life situation can be challenging. But that's why we have several tools and techniques that can guide us into a more efficient way of working, as well as always being professional on every single thing we work on and giving our best. Restaurants will always be a profitable business, but each day competence is bigger and bigger. And if you want to succeed in this market, you have to be the best, hopefully applying many of these concepts previously mentioned. Also, I think as a conclusion that every single technique that was taken into account is not only for a restaurant. I think that every business should apply them, and it's very important to take into account these challenges for future decisions. Several sources were consulted during this presentation, and these are the bibliographic references. This will be the end of the presentation. Thanks.